Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Wow, I can't believe it's November. That is crazy. I feel like, well, I have for the past few videos been saying, oh, it's another day, it's another Wednesday in October, and now it's November. You guys, this is a reminder for you to enjoy each day, seriously, and just focus on the positives of each day, and don't ruin your day by focusing on the negatives, and don't let your day be ruined maybe by somebody on the road or somebody at work. Just focus on the positives, focus on yourself, be appreciative of everything you have, and before we know it, this year will be over and we're on to the next year. New beginnings, new happenings, so definitely enjoy each moment. So those of you who are new to my channel, hello, thank you so much for clicking my video. Please hit subscribe and hit that like button. I post videos on the law, on law school, on a lawyer's lifestyle, and just answering common questions that law students or even lawyers could have. So hit that subscribe button, hit that like button to stay tuned and to support me. So let's get right into the video. So as you guys can tell by the title of this video, I am going to talk about the different types of lawyers that are out there and what they do. So possibly you might be thinking about, going to law school. Maybe you're in law school, or maybe you're already an attorney and you're thinking about, changing to another area of law. So listen up, because I'm going to touch upon, how many do I have? I have 20 different types of lawyers that I'm going to touch upon. So let's start with the first one. We're going to start with the one that I currently practice in, which is immigration law. So immigration law, you could probably guess it. It has to do with helping people come to the U.S. and obtain their green card, helping people become lawful residents and thereafter U.S. citizens. And it's, when it comes to immigration, there's so many different areas within immigration itself. There's asylum, there's employment-based, there's, the whole naturalization process, there's family-based petitions. I mean, it's so many different categories, but immigration law is basically, you're mainly working with USCIS and different departments of the government, like Department of State, Department of Labor. But if you're working on asylum cases, you're working more with the court, conducting trials and, all that stuff. So immigration law is one area of law. The second area of law I'm going to talk about is personal injury. And this is so personal to me, because I practice this and I really have a heart for personal injury law. I've worked with attorneys actually in Boston, in this area. But personal injury law, you could guess this too. It has to do with slip and falls. It has to do with car crashes. It has to do with, truck driver, truck crashes, and has to do with negligence and anything tort related. It most likely is a personal injury case. And it's actually a really fun area of law. So number 3, medical malpractice. So medical malpractice is a whole area of law that focuses on doctor, physician, any kind of medical professional, focuses on their negligence and their wrongdoing. I actually helped an attorney in Boston handle medical malpractice cases, and I truly enjoyed it. Now, my family, who are actually doctors, aka my sister, my husband, aka a dentist, and other members of my family who are in the healthcare profession, they don't really like that I practice medical malpractice. But sorry, I like to represent the common man, not the insurance companies. So my husband is sitting literally diagonally from me, and as soon as I hit stop, he started laughing, and I was like, shut up. Number 4, workers' compensation. Workers' compensation is a case that arises when an employee gets injured at work. and they file a workers' compensation case against their employer, and they get compensated for their injuries and the time that they're out of work. I had the pleasure of handling and actually running the department of workers' comp in a Boston firm that I was in for about 6 months, and I really liked workers' comp actually. It's a good area of law. The DIA, so you work mainly with the Department of Industrial Accidents, the DIA in Boston. I don't know about any other state. It's actually so nice. I mean, everybody just wants to, work for your client and just to get the case settled and move on. Like, everybody works well with each other. I've rarely had any hostility, maybe with like one lawyer. But beyond that, it's a great field. Number 5, a tax lawyer. So tax lawyer, you could probably guess it. All of these like different areas and their titles, you can easily guess what it is, what they specialize in. But tax lawyer, they don't help you calculate your taxes. They're more for ensuring that you're following, the state laws of taxes. And, if the IRS gives you a problem, guess who you're going to call to defend you? A tax lawyer. So they know the ins and outs of, the IRS rules and everything and the laws. So if you have any questions or if you run into any trouble, tax lawyer is the person to go. And maybe, who knows, maybe you'll be interested in that area of law. Number 6, which is employment law. So employment lawyers, they mainly handle cases they could either represent the employer or the employee. So representing the employer in the sense that making sure that the employer follows the laws, posts the necessary policies and notices that needs to be posted in the office, just being the advisor for the employer. And then there are employment lawyers who also represent the employee. So representing the employee, maybe an employee got terminated from work for wrongful reasons, maybe because of your race, because of your gender, because of your disability, it could be for wrongful reasons. So there are employment lawyers out there who will handle both the employer and employee cases. Number 7, criminal defense. So I'm sure you know exactly what this is. Criminal defense attorneys are those who defend people who have been accused of committing a crime. So it doesn't necessarily mean that the person committed the crime, right? They've been accused of committing the crime. So criminal defense, it's these cases include, sexual assault, domestic violence, murder, robbery, arson, all the crimes, right? So if this stuff excites you, it's actually a really hot topic. I remember when I took this class in law school, I was super interested in this class, and so were all my classmates. It's just such an interesting subject, but even though I was really good at it, I just could not see myself actually practicing as a criminal defense attorney. But who knows? Maybe you can, right? So number 8 is the opposite of a criminal defense attorney, and it's a prosecutor. So you can work for the government, become a DA, which is a district attorney, or ADA, assistant district attorney, just working for the government, and you're prosecuting the cases, which means that you are representing the state, you're representing the government in the case, and you're basically going against the accused, and you're trying to prove with evidence, circumstantial evidence, and evidence that they are guilty. So, it's like the criminal defense and prosecution, those are the two main types of lawyers that we see commonly on TV and movies. So I'm sure you know and you've seen, what it's all about. But FYI, movies and TVs are completely dramatized. It's definitely not that dramatic in person. I wish it was, so it was more like lively. No, JK. It's fine, but it's definitely not that dramatic. Okay, you guys, number 9. Number 9 is family law. So family law has to do with divorces, child custody, all that stuff. I could never see myself become a family law attorney because I actually had people tell me that if you ever become a family law attorney, you would fail because you would try to get the couple back together instead of helping them, go their separate ways. So family law attorneys, they're really headstrong. You definitely can be emotionally attached. You have to have, you have to be strong and bold, not emotional. Yeah, that's all I have to say. Number 10 is bankruptcy. So fun fact, my first job ever in the legal profession was my first year of law school working as a paralegal in a bankruptcy law firm. I will never forget that attorney. He is awesome, awesome, awesome. I missed working for him, and it was actually really fun. But I never pursued bankruptcy because I was never fully interested or committed to it. But bankruptcy law, you guessed it, Chapter 11, Chapter 9, Chapter 13, all those different chapters, helping companies, helping individuals, helping families file for bankruptcy and get their life back together. A lot of people think, oh, filing for bankruptcy, it's a bad thing. It's really not. It's really the start of finding a solution to your problems, right? So actually getting to work in a bankruptcy law firm, I definitely had a lot of doubts cleared. It's actually a really great profession, helping people get out of debt and, getting their life back together, getting their credit score back up. All this stuff is super, super important. So, hey, you might be interested in that, right? It's actually a really good field, so look into it. Okay, number 11 is intellectual property. Intellectual property attorneys, they handle like patents, copyright issues, all that fun stuff. So it basically helps people protect their identity, protect their businesses, protect their products, protect their ideas, protect their quotes. It's all that fun stuff. So fun fact about this is that it's known in the legal profession that intellectual property or IP attorneys make lots of money. So do what you will with that information. If you're going after money, so be it. Maybe look into this. It's actually super, super interesting. I never took a IP class in law school. Instead, I took a PI class, personal injury class in law school. But I have friends who actually have family who's already in the business, and they're planning to go into the business, and I think it's like super, super awesome. Number 12 is real estate. So I actually almost diverted my career path into real estate law, but then I didn't for various reasons. But real estate lawyers, you will see them there at the closing of buying your home. When it comes time to selling your home, they're there, and they are there to read that huge thick packet, about the property that you're about to buy. And specifically, they will go over and pay close attention to the covenants, to, what else, like zoning laws and all that fun stuff. JK, it's not so fun for me. Property law was actually one of the areas of law that I least admired, but it might be the opposite for you. Look into this. Real estate law, there's honestly so much potential in real estate law, you guys. Especially you're dealing with property, right? The value of property is always going to increase, over time, right? So that's why I was so close to going into this area of law, but who knows, maybe down the line, right? But think about it. If you get your real estate license and you're a real estate attorney, that is a win-win situation. You can open up your own agency. You can be the attorney. You don't need to hire an outside attorney to be present and read through everything. You could do that yourself. So think about it. Number 13 is civil rights / human rights attorneys. And as the title is, it's attorneys who fight for humans, civil rights, and the rights of every human. And if it's been violated, this is your attorney to go to. They are there to support you. Next one, number 14, is a contract lawyer. So contract lawyers, once again, as you've guessed it, they review contracts. So before you sign on with a job, or before you send a contract to your client to sign, maybe you want to have a contract attorney review it, making sure that in the contract are all the components required by the law, non-compete agreements, arbitrary clause, things like that. So contract attorney, it's super, super important to have contracts reviewed by attorneys before you sign them and before you give to sign. Because, once something goes wrong or the contract is broken, you have a safety net. So if you're interested in lots of reading, look into this. I'm definitely not this type of person, so I looked the other way. Number 15 is corporate lawyer. So corporate lawyer, a lot of shows also depict this kind of lawyer. Wait, what is that? Suits? Yeah, Suits with Harvey Specter. So Suits with Harvey Specter, I'm pretty sure in that show, that firm where Harvey Specter worked at, they were corporate counsel for a lot of businesses. And what that means is that you are counsel for a business. So anything, any trouble, anything, all the ins and outs of that business, they look to you. So for example, there's corporate counsel of Toyota, corporate counsel of, GoPro. I don't know. I'm running out of ideas, you guys. But basically, it's corporate counsel is the attorney for a specific company. And if you get a job like this, it tends to come with a lot of perks, and it tends to come with a high-paying salary, and it also tends to come with long working hours. So be aware of that. But if you're looking for a high-paying salary straight out of law school, look into this, because this job will give that to you. Number 16 is entertainment law. So entertainment law was quite new to me. I think I only discovered it when I was in law school. And that's only because I took a course where I got to work with an attorney and just to shadow him, help him with a case. So I was paired with an entertainment lawyer. And it was pretty cool because he had a case where he was representing a broadcasting channel, and there was another broadcasting channel which we were going to bring a claim against because his client, his broadcasting channel client, had the sole rights to display and play a wrestling match, but apparently another channel was playing that wrestling match, so it was kind of a back and forth between the two channels, be no, I have the exclusive rights to play this, and they're no, we have the exclusive rights to play this, whatever. So he had me draft a memorandum of law, just researching the law, applying the facts of the case to the law, and concluding what the outcome is and how the judge would rule. And so that got me able to look into that entertainment law, which was super, super cool. So entertainment law, people always think, oh, if you're an entertainment lawyer, you get to meet famous people, and work with all these famous people. And which is true, but it also holds for any other area of law. I mean, you have famous people out there who need to make a will, so then you have to hire a wills and estates attorney. You have maybe foreign sports players, famous sports players who are trying to get, a U.S. citizen here in America. So an immigration lawyer would help them. So just like that, any field of law, you have the chance of working with famous people, which is so cool. But entertainment law, they focus on music, filmmakers, basically creative people. So yeah. Okay, number 17. I'm going to talk about environmental lawyers. So environmental lawyers, as you could guess by the name, once again, are lawyers who protect the environment, and they handle cases file lawsuits against companies, products, or companies who create harmful products which are harmful to the environment. There was actually a movie that I saw with, I always forget his name, but he played Hulk. I always forget his name, but Hulk is also my favorite Avenger, side note. But anyway, there was a movie with that actor, and I think it was called Dark Waters or Black Waters, something like that. But it's based off a true story, and it's how this chemical used on like cooking pans and pots, literally like what people would use to cook food and serve their kids and their families, was using a harmful chemical. And that chemical was also being, like, the excess of it or whatever it was also being poured into like rivers, like from the factories, and then the cows would like drink that, and the other animals would drink that, and they would die. And that really affected, first of all, it affected like literally everybody down the chain, right? Like it affected animals, it affected farmers, it affected families. So it was like a huge lawsuit. Highly recommend watching that. But that is a prime example of what an environmental lawyer does, is that they look out for the environment, and that is so important, right? So look into that. Actually, it's a really interesting and good area of law. Okay, number 18 is business attorneys. So business attorneys, they are, I would say, similar to like corporate counsels, where they help a business. Maybe you're trying to form a business and you don't know how to start a business. You don't know, how to license your business, whether to go with an LLC, whether to incorporate it, whatever. Maybe you're just confused, and so you need somebody to guide you every step of the way, advise you on, the taxes, which entity is best, help you with contracts for your business. The whole shebang, you need a business attorney. So yeah, if you're ever thinking about opening up a business, call a business attorney and you will get all your answers. And if you are interested in this area of law, it's a great area of law, you guys. And it's awesome. Your clients would be motivated people who want to start their own business. And once their business grows, they'll always remember you. And, it's a great area, great profession. Okay, number 19 is constitutional lawyer. So constitutional lawyers, surprise, are lawyers who fight for you and your constitutional rights. That is right. So I can give you a prime example. There was a case I was reading in the news recently, actually, of this student. I think it was at Ohio State University, some university. The student filed a lawsuit saying that the school violated his Fourth Amendment right. And what the case was about is that the client, he signed a waiver that the school gave him saying that, he authorizes the school to conduct like a quick review, I guess you could say review, a quick review of his room before testing occurs. So this is the time during COVID, everybody's at home, all the students are at home, they take exams online, everything's online, right? So the school had him sign a waiver saying that he authorizes the school to do a quick view of his room, which could take anywhere from 10 seconds to a minute. What I'm trying to say is that, so this student, he was at home about to take a quiz or a test or whatever, and so he showed the professor, a aerial view of his room before the exam started. And lo and behold, he filed a lawsuit against the school saying that they violated his Fourth Amendment right because he considered that to be an unreasonable search and seizure of his room. Now, the lawyer he hired was a constitutional lawyer. So it's these kinds of cases that you would be handling if, you specialize in this area. It's super cool. Okay, you guys, I hope I didn't bore you, but number 20, the last type of lawyer I'm going to talk about are security and exchange attorneys. So security and exchange attorneys, they ensure that companies, their clients, are following the SEC rules and making sure that they aren't doing anything shady, helping them get through loopholes, that whole shebang. I really don't know much about it clearly, but I just know that they help businesses follow the SEC rules and make sure that if they ever get into trouble, these attorneys will defend businesses in complex cases like that. So if that interests you, look into it. So you guys, these were just 20 different types of lawyers. Now there are way more. Like I didn't even talk about like estate lawyers, right? Wills and trust lawyers. I didn't talk about military attorneys. I didn't talk about aviation attorneys, nursing home negligence. There's so many different areas of law, and there's so many like specific areas of law that attorneys like specifically practice in. Like that's their niche. So I hope this video helped. Hit that subscribe button for all this information that I gave you. Hit that like button if you found this video to be helpful. Share this video with your family, with your friends, anybody who you think could benefit from this. Let them know the different types of attorneys out there and what they can do. And maybe, this could be a motivating factor for them to pursue a career in law, which is so, so great. So as always, you guys, thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for watching my videos. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your week. Always stay safe, stay happy, stay healthy, always be thankful for your week, and I will see you next Wednesday. Bye.